Hey everybody, so we're moving into week 4 of the challenge. Yay! Before I talk about what I want to talk about for week 4, I kind of want to address last week, week 3, that some of us were on the struggle bus hard on the Monday. So if you were, I hope you listened to the video that Lindsay posted on Facebook on the Victoria Day Monday. She had a lot of good tips in there. She hit the nail on the head quite accurately. So what I want to address in that is a couple of things to help you move forward from a struggle bus day. Okay, one, just let it go. If you have a bad day on this ride, on this journey, it's just one day, okay? It's a small blimp on the radar. Acknowledge that you had a bad day, know that you could have acted better, and then just let it go, okay? Secondly, reach out to your support group, because you have a support group. You have a coach, you have other people who are in this challenge. So when you are struggling, you don't have to do it alone, okay? Because chances are there's somebody else out there who is struggling right along with you. So reach out to one of the coaches, reach out to maybe a fellow friend who's on the challenge, or just post something on the Facebook group. You might be surprised how many people are right there with you. And then thirdly, and this is a huge one, tap back into your why. Remember why you set that goal at the beginning of this 8-week challenge. Go back, go through the steps that I gave you to setting a good goal. See that picture, be in that picture, feel what you feel, see what you see, hear what you hear, and be in that picture. Seeing it through your eyes, feeling it, okay? And then step back out of that picture, breathe life into it, breathe your energy into it, and then place it back into your future where you see it. Tap back into that why. Get that energy back. If that why is no longer there, maybe you need to reassess what goal you actually want to achieve at the end of this 8 weeks, or whatever timeline you have set for yourself for achieving whatever goal you have achieved. Go back in. And sometimes we need to re-energize our why, remind ourselves of our why, or sometimes our goal needs to change. What we wanted at the beginning of this 8 weeks may not be what we truly want anymore. Maybe we've discovered what we really do want. Maybe at the beginning of the 8 weeks, you weren't sure, so you just blurted out a goal just so that you could say that you had a goal. So, and that's fine. Nothing wrong with that. However, if you don't have a why attached to that goal, if there's absolutely no emotion attached to that goal or to your why, let it go and find something that does trigger an emotion within you, that gets the fire lit within you and underneath you to get you moving towards that goal. Okay, so remember, it's one day, let it go. You have a support group, reach out to us, we're here for you. And 3, tap back into that why. Okay, now, saying that, one of the things that may have put you on that struggle bus is what we call a limiting belief. Okay, so what's a limiting belief? Well, a limiting belief is something that we believe about ourselves, or a decision that we made about ourselves or about the world, and it influences how we live our life. Okay, now some limiting beliefs are very small and can be easily blown out of the water, okay, or ripped out of the garden. I'm going to go with the garden metaphor just because it's spring and people are out gardening. Easily eradicated from our gardens, right? Other ones are those weeds that have those deep, dark roots embedded in the soil and take a lot more work to blow out of the water. So a small one would be something like, I'll use myself as an example. So doing videos about this kind of stuff, the mindset work, triggered a fear inside of me. And I didn't think I could do them. I've obviously blown that belief out of the water because here I am doing them. So the smaller limiting beliefs are things that just trigger a little bit of fear in us, a little bit of anxiety. And it's usually triggered from not knowing what the results are going to be, okay? They make us step outside of our comfort zone just a little bit, okay? We're not going way out there, we're just going a little ways. Another example would be that most of us can probably relate to that first CrossFit class we walked into. And we walk in and we are telling ourselves, oh, hell no, what did I just sign up for? What did I get myself? Would anybody notice if I ran out the door now? Then you go through the class and you do it. And you walk out of that building feeling proud of yourself, feeling stronger, feeling tired, but really proud of yourself because you did something that you didn't think you could do. Okay, so that is a small limiting belief that is easily overcome. And it's usually just a matter of doing the deed to get over that fear and the uncertainty. Okay, so small limiting belief. Some phobias are limiting beliefs. Some are huge and need, like I said, need a lot of work. Some phobias can be overcome just by doing the experience over and over again in small steps, okay? If you're scared of heights, for example, maybe you start out at a smaller height, stay there, sit there, get comfortable with that height, and then you move on to something a little bit higher, or and then a little bit higher again. Getting comfortable with that position, that height, okay? And just so that you guys know, you probably, maybe I've heard me say this before, but we're actually only born with 2 fears. The rest is learned behavior, okay? So the 2 fears that we're born with is fear of falling and fear of loud noises. So when people always tell me they're scared of heights, I say, oh no, you're not scared of the height, you're scared of falling. Because in reality, that is. We tell ourselves we're scared of the height because then it's another way of saying that we're scared of falling, right? However, is it acceptable? Because I mean, really, if you're scared of falling, sounds kind of sad, right? Because you could fall at any time from any height, so it's not really the height. So when you acknowledge that it's not the height that you're scared of, but more scared of falling from that height, it takes a little bit away from the height of it, right? And then you maybe are a little bit more comfortable being on a higher platform than what you normally do. Loud noises, same thing. The more times you're exposed to loud noises, either you're going deaf and you don't hear them anymore, or you just become accustomed to them and then you're not scared of them as much anymore, right? So those are a little bit bigger ones, and that's how you overcome them. You just keep exposing yourself to that experience over and over again. Now, the ones that really mess with us and keep us from achieving our goals, are those ones that are so deeply rooted inside of us that they're hard to eradicate. And most of those ones come from being told a story over and over again, experiencing the same, doing something over and over again and getting the same results will create that limiting belief. You will hear people say, oh, when I do that, it always ends up this way, and that's a limiting belief. Or, I can't do that, I'm not very good at sports. Okay, so that's a limiting belief. There's different things that may alter us from achieving our goals. So those ones, those deep, deep-rooted ones, are things that we have experienced over and over again, or have been told over and over again. The story's been told to us over and over again, and we begin to believe it to be true, when in reality, it isn't truth. So those ones that keep us from achieving our goals, those are the ones that we really need to work at eradicating from our garden. And they take time, and they may take different methods to get rid of. So first thing you're going to do, and I'll take you through these steps, is you're going to acknowledge that the belief is limiting you. Okay, some beliefs are there to protect us, and that's fine. However, I want to address the ones that are limiting you and keeping you from achieving your goal. So acknowledge those ones. Okay, write them down. Write down experiences where they have kept you from achieving your goal in the past. And then write down experiences where maybe they didn't keep you. They were proven wrong. Okay? Then I want you to acknowledge that they are only beliefs. They are not your truths. Okay? They're not true. You can blow them up. If you really want to do something, you can do it. You have to set your mind to it. You have to put your heart into it. And you have to want to do the work. Okay, so that's all part of, that's why I say it's harder, right? Because then that's where people start going, oh, well, I don't want to do the work, right? I want this, but oh, that's a lot of work and I don't want to do that. Because it's scary. When you're eradicating these limiting beliefs, you can bring up a lot of other emotional baggage within your life that you may have to address that's keeping you from achieving your goal also. So steps 2. We'll review those because I'm getting sidetracked. You're going to think about an area in your life where you would have a different result in, or where you want a different result in. Acknowledge the limiting belief that has kept you from achieving that result. Acknowledge that they are only a belief, not true, okay? They are not true. You can and will prove that to yourself over and over again in the future. You're going to write those down. Write experiences in the past where they have kept you from achieving your goal, and then write experiences in the past where they didn't keep you from achieving your goals, okay? Now, you're going to change your story. How do you change your story? Well, you change the way you talk to yourself. You change the way you think. Okay, so week 2, week 3 was about self-talk and self-thought. Shifting our talk and shifting our thoughts to project us towards our goal, okay, to move us towards our goal. So if there's something that you've done in the past and you've always had the result of you can't do it or you're not successful at it, think, okay, you know what, in the past, when I did it this way, I was unsuccessful. However, I'm going to do it this way. And you might surprise yourself and actually achieve what it is you're meant to achieve, okay? There is no one set rule for anybody to achieving the goal. And achieving a goal is never a linear path. There's always ups and downs and curves and bumps and bruises and all kinds of struggle buses, fast track trains. There's all kinds of things on that journey from point A to point B, okay? It's never linear. So I want you guys to think about this for the week coming up. Think about your story, okay? What story have you been telling yourself in the past with regards to these beliefs? What story do you want to tell yourselves in the future so that you achieve the goals that you set? Because here's the thing, you guys. You're the narrator of your story. Nobody else. There are people who are in your life, so there's characters in your story, who will either encourage you, get in your way, challenge you. They're all there. You put them in your story, okay? You get to say how they actually influence you, or if they influence you at all, or if they stay in your story. So when writing this story, How do you like books to end? I personally like happy endings in any book that I read, whether it be a mystery, a love story, a comedy. I always like happy endings, don't we all? So, in your story, let's write a happy ending. Let's see you achieving that goal at the end of this 8 weeks, or whatever length of time it may take you to achieve the goal that you have. Okay? Be flexible. The biggest thing to be flexible with when setting a goal is your timeline. Be very flexible. Allow yourself to celebrate the small wins and start celebrating when you've achieved that goal around that 90%. Because very seldom do any of us hit our goal 100% on the nose perfectly every time. So let yourself celebrate when you've reached that 90%, okay? I want to end this week's video with a quote from The Slight Edge, by Jeff Olson, and it goes this way. And I want you guys to think about this when you're on that struggle bus, or even if you're on the fast track. This is a good message. Everything is always in motion. Every day, every moment, your life path is either curving up or curving down. Okay? So this week, you guys choose. You write your story. Is your story going to have a curve up, or is it going to have a curve down? Your choice. All right. You guys have a good week, and we'll see you when we see you.